in the book and in a lot of your social media videos, you commonly point out fallacies. So what are some of the major fallacies that you see sort of again and again from people who may be very well intentioned, but who are unwittingly probably spreading biblical misinformation?
I think one of the ones that I bring up when I discuss the idea of inspiration is a fallacy known as begging the question. And a lot of people hear that phrase, and we've come to understand begging the question to mean raising the question. You know, you're having this discussion, and this begs the question that and that's not what begging the question is. Begging the question is when you produce an argument that requires presuppose the conclusion of your argument. In other words, it is building on the foundation of the conclusion being true. And I talk about that when in relation to 2 Timothy 3:16, the idea that all scripture is God-breathed, and a lot of people understand that to mean inspired. And so when people say, well, how you know, the book is written by humans, and they go, 2 Timothy 3:16, all scripture is inspired. It's like, okay, but what if that's not true? What if 2 Timothy 3:16 isn't inspired? Your argument
written by a human.
Yeah, your argument requires the conclusion. If your conclusion is not true, then your argument falls to pieces. And so it presupposes the truthfulness of the conclusion for the argument to work. And that's one that's so common, and particularly when it comes to the Bible and the three dogmas that I mention as almost everybody presupposing. Like almost any argument you will see online presupposes one, if not all three of these dogmas: inspiration, inerrancy, and the big one is univocality. And this is the idea that the Bible speaks with one single, unified, and consistent voice, and from one single, unified, and consistent perspective, meaning it can never disagree with itself. So if I say, you know, Deuteronomy 32:8-9 treats Adonai as one of the offspring of a separate deity who goes by the name Elyon, and people say, well, what about Exodus 20? What about Psalm 33? What about all these other things? It's like, they're utterly irrelevant to what Deuteronomy 32:8-9 were trying to communicate, unless you're presupposing univocality, presupposing that they all mean the exact same thing. And I can't escape from that fallacy. That fallacy is everywhere.